Just talking about the media, the Uni Party and their propaganda arm, which is the mainstream media, I have actually noticed that the media seems to be a little bit better. They're getting a little bit better at asking questions. I don't know if you've noticed this recently.
They are over this gifts and donor gate and all that, yeah.
For some reason they are actually, and I'm surprised because we always got a sense that they were biased towards Labour far more than they were biased. I mean, we know now that they actually work equally for both parties, but you do get the sense now that they are a bit more asking harder questions and maybe challenging a little bit more. And there's a few interviews I've seen on YouTube where it's actually a BBC reporter asking a hard question for a change. So something seems to be shifting there. I don't know if you're sensing that.
I am. But all politicians always say the media's biased. And they are biased. They're always biased against the ones that are in power. And that's their job to a certain extent. But this Donagate would be very hard for the press to ignore. First of all, it sells papers. It sells time on TV so you can watch advertisements. So they know this is something we're all angry about. And the hypocrisy of it all as well. But you're right, they are asking some serious questions and holding them to account. And these little politicians just grin. But we're not as bad as the Tories. Well, you might not be as bad as the Tories, but you said you were so much better. You said you weren't corrupt. You said there was going to be change. You said you were for the people. And within days of getting in power, you know, one MP got given 14 grand to hold a birthday party.
Oh yes, I heard about that. Yeah.
Another couple of MPs were given thousands of pounds of Taylor Swift tickets.
Yeah.
Thousands of pounds of clothes. Angela Rayner on TV said, she's accepted £1,000 worth of clothes, but it's not really my fault because I'm working class.
What?
Well, yeah, you're on 150 grand a year, love, and you've been a lot.
She didn't really say that, did she?
She did.
She said I'm working class.
Because I'm working class, so I need nice clothes. Basically,
she is grotesque.
She is, and it was like just excuse. None of them can see the issue.
Which is bizarre, isn't it?
You know, and some of them should turn around and say, "Do you know what? In hindsight, I never should have took this, should I? In hindsight, I get how this looks now.
Yeah.
I get it now. And if it happened again, I wouldn't take it. And I'm sorry to the public for me, taking it. I didn't mean it to look like this, but they're not. One guy was asked today with Taylor Swift tickets, and he said, I worked so hard on the election campaign and missed my children. And when I got offered these, my kids said, they'd like to go. So it was really a treat for my children. And he was asked then, would you do it again? And he went, in the same circumstances, yes. It's like, you are just a money-grabbing idiot.
They're narcissists, aren't they?
Yes.
They're just like, they can't see.
No.
They don't think anybody else works hard or deserves Taylor Swift tickets. Just them.
Not even got the political nous to lie and go, I never should have took it and I'd like to apologise to the people and I'll never do it. At least the sleaze and the Tories, at least you always got an apology off them for being sleazy.
True,
always got a sleazy apology. And we knew they were lying.
Yeah.
But these ones won't even lie.
They do have a brass neck.
I've done nothing wrong.
Yeah. And they don't seem to see they've done anything wrong. But this has actually been going on for a while because since 2019, Keir Starmer has received £107,000 of gifts.
Yeah.
Now that is a lot of gifts. That is 107 grand. I mean, that's for only 5 years. He's got that's over £20,000 a year. That's a lot of money.
It is.
That's what for that. 20 grand is somebody's year's salary in some cases.
Yeah. So again, this has all been abused again now. Gifts. So there's nothing wrong in an MP taking what would look like a gift, taking hospitality, because that happens in the business world, and it has to be registered. So when a multimillionaire takes you for lunch because he's opening a factory, or you're trying to get him to open a factory here, well, that's absolutely fine, and then register it in the House of Commons book you do, so everyone can see it was open. I ain't got a problem with that. I ain't got a problem with you going to the theatre with the Russian ambassador to talk about the war. No, I got a problem. Even if the Russians pay for it, I ain't got a problem for that. But when it comes down to, I'm going to buy your sunglasses for you, and I'm going to buy you a dress, That's just gone way off.
Yeah.
Way off.
Yeah.
What this should be. What this should be.
Yes.
Of course, our politicians will take hospitality because the meat. And I'm sure there's a grey line there as well, which might be hard to define.
Yeah.
But when I'm buying you personal items and buying your wife clothes, let's say what this is. This is bribery.
Bribery, yeah. And you can understand, say something like Jim Ratcliffe has a box at United, yeah? So he obviously wants to court politicians and things like that. So he might say, come and watch a match with me at United. That to me is possibly acceptable because he's a businessman, a senior businessman in the country, blah, 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 whatever. But these guys are getting freebies where it's just, here's tickets for Taylor Swift. You'd not be going with anybody. Here you go for you and your kids to do this. Yeah. Here's a dress for you. Here's a pair of sunglasses for you. This is nothing to do with politics or business. This is, you're right, this is plain bribery, basically.
It's just plain bribery. And I'm not saying these people are getting anything in return, but it doesn't work like that. You don't say to a politician, here's $3,000 worth of Taylor Swift tickets, I want you to vote a certain way for $3,000.
Yeah.
But over time, you start liking that person.
Yeah, yeah.
You're on their side a bit more.
It becomes an obligation then.
And
it's harder to say no to them, isn't it?
You see him in a better light because you're friends with them. And when those tough decisions have to be made, your friendship with that person may make up 1% of your decision making. And 1% may just tip the balance and then you don't pass that law now, do you?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Did you enjoy that video? I think you did. Come on now, hit that bell, subscribe, comment. Let's build this channel. I need more followers, I need more subscribers. Be part of the journey. See you soon.